I was also a 2015 seller, so I started in 2015 and went through all those cycles.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember the canonical URLs and the super URLs.
Mhm.
Um, does any of that stuff still work? And do you push sales through that or search, find, buy? Or how does that, is there anything to do with ranking
So
as well that works with your system?
yeah, so I mean, there's a couple different ways because we're full omni-channel. Sellers can use links, right? It defaults to a direct link, but they can put a
Hmm.
link whatever they want in there. We also
So of
have the
course, that's
organic
their
launch.
responsibility if they put anything that's.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's really up to them. It's going to default to a default, link, and then
Mm.
you can choose whatever they want. And then we have the organic. We pull in the title of the product, the organic title, and then buyers are told to use a few keywords to find the product from there. And so it's generally how it works. And again, it's full omni-channel, so it really just depends on whatever the seller wants. We've done over 1 million orders. We get compliancy questions all the time, which is fine. Like I totally understand. But we've done over 1 million orders through the technology, over 10,000 campaigns, never had any issues with compliancy. So I think we're doing something right. Amazon's really, their biggest concern is just the customer experience. Right? If you try to impede on the experience and you try to, let's say, rank keywords that aren't relevant to your product, you're trying to boost your competitor keyword, all this kind of stuff, that's a big no-no. Or if you're just paying for your product, you're right, the seller's just paying somebody to buy their product and boost rank, right? Like those are big no-nos. So the whole idea is how can we improve the customer experience, improve the brand's ability to understand their customers, position themselves better, and that's really our primary focus. And then also, like, make sure we keep our sellers safe as much as we can.
Oh, I love it. So what happens, just for me to get it right in my head? Someone comes to your deal site, they see a deal they want, they're like, I like that, I get somewhere between 15 and 100% off. They go through your system, they buy the product, they then have to leave feedback or whatever the action items are. Your AI summarizes that, checks it's okay, and then releases the cash
The
back,
points.
the points which
Yeah, the
eventually are
points that
going to be
are
cash back.
eligible. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's a
cool.
gamified deal site. I think Rakuten, Slickdeals,
Mm.
these are all examples of like deal sites that kind of do something similar. But it's very much like, we try to position it as kind of a modern deal site.
Mm.
It's like all deal sites. It's hilarious. We have a running joke in our company where like it looks like all the deal sites are made from 1990, right? So it's very much like a new. I don't want to say TikTok Shop or Temu because I don't want to like associate with them at all. But it's a fun gamified type of environment, and they have loyalty points for doing certain actions and providing value. Essentially, everything the algorithm in our deal marketplaces around value providing to sellers primarily.
Mm.
So if they do good things that are going to provide value to these brands on Amazon and other marketplaces, they get kind of boosted up. If they do bad things, they get boosted down, and then eventually, if they keep doing bad things, we just blacklist them. And that's one other thing that really differentiates us is a lot of these agencies. I don't know any other softwares that do quite what we do. There's some that are similar, but the one thing that agencies don't do is what we call buyer quality protection, where we our buyer sites like Fort Knox. Like we don't let buyers in that are you know acting in bad nature,
Yeah,
and buyers try to do all sorts of things. Like some buyers make a business out of this. Like if they
yeah.
get discounted products, they can resell them, right? Or buyers can get products and then cancel them or refund them within the 30-day time frame, and maybe they get their money back before that 30 days and they return products, right? There's
Yeah.
a lot of different ways that they can game the system, and over the years we've found 99% of them, and we've put controls in place. So
Mm.
it impacts what we call our sell-through rates. So sometimes we might not get 100% sell-through rate if you're doing an aggressive campaign, but the reality is the buyer quality, and that's a real metric in Amazon, buyer quality score, is much higher because these are authentic buyers that are acting in good nature, that aren't just buying hordes of products and then,
Mm.
making a business out of it, essentially.
Love it.
Yeah,
Super cool. I know that was a big issue when I was using platforms back in like 2016
totally.
and 17. I had a VA literally going through every profile of every
What?
person who applied to see
Yeah.
what type of reviews they left, whether it's
Yeah.
copy and pasted stuff, look at their buying history. Like it was such a pain.
Yeah. I'll tell you a little story. The reason, I don't think I've ever told this, but the catalyst to me starting this was I used another service. I won't say what service, but we did a bunch of promotions, trying to get traction for a lot of new products, whatever. And I went back and I looked in, I think it was close to 20% of the products had been returned or refunded. Wow. And these are products that you're paying a lot of money, to boost relevancy and whatnot. And so I went and I said, listen, like, this money just came out of my pocket, and they offered me a 10% discount off of fees for my next campaign. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, so that was an example. I was like, you know what? Like, if this is where everyone's flocking to, this was a pretty popular company, and this is kind of how they handle these situations. Like, we're gonna just build something better, and so that's what we set out to do. So
I mean, you guys have done, and that's a heavy lift. Building a marketplace side is a super heavy lift. Like, I understand software's fine, but building an actual functioning marketplace.
I totally underestimated how challenging this would be. But we took the hardest SaaS model, which is a vertically integrated B2B. Because if you think of like Uber and Airbnb, that's essentially what it is. You have the buyers, you have the demand side and the supply side. And to take those and to bring them together and ensure they work in tandem, because they have to scale simultaneously, right? If you have too many Uber drivers and not enough passengers, what's going to happen? The drivers are going to leave. If you have too many passengers and not enough drivers, what's going to happen? Passengers are going to leave. So you have to bring them in and grow them simultaneously, which is very difficult to do, especially when you're bootstrapped. So, but it's fun. It's working out. We've done a lot. We have both platforms established. We just launched the deal site in March of 24, which isn't too long ago, and we. So now it feels like we've kind of built the structure. Now we're bringing people inside, so this is the exciting part.
That's super cool. I love it. I mean, and it's very defensible because it takes a lot of effort to do that.
Yeah.